Hello! My name is Gio, short for George, and today is another episode in my printmaking channel, where today we're going over some introductory lino block printmaking. This tutorial is based off a product I found in my nearby Michael's, but is also found on DickBlick, which I'll be putting in the link below. It's a small speedball printmaking toolkit that is perfect for anyone wanting to get into printmaking. Inside is a linoleum cutter handle, which includes 3 different cutters to attach onto the handle, a printmaking brayer or roller, a tube of black speedball block printmaking ink, a small block made of easy-to-cut linoleum-like material that is eraser-like and rather chunky. And along with all of these different materials in the printmaking kit, you'll want to pick up some palette paper along the way, or some plastic material to spread your ink on. To start, I decided to use only half of the linoleum material provided to me in the toolkit, so I used a pen and box cutter to cut the block down to size. Once you have your block ready, you'll need your linoleum cutter. In the back is a small compartment you should be able to unscrew. In this compartment are different cutters, each with a unique shape to create unique carvings. By unscrewing the metal tip of your handle, you'll be able to create a space in which you insert your linoleum cutter. Once you have re-tightened your handle, your tool is ready to be used on the linoleum. Once you're all set, you begin carving away into your linoleum block. An extremely important tip to know while you carve, you never want your tool to be facing any of your fingers. Always make sure your cutter is facing away from your hands to make sure it won't ram into any pieces of your skin. This linoleum block is much easier to carve than most, so it shouldn't be too much of a concern, but please know that it is possible and you want to make sure to keep your hands safe at all times. Along with this, the deeper you cut, the larger the indent will be into your block. So vary your pressure if you want to vary the types of lines you want into your design. Another really important factor to consider while carving is that your print will be inverted once you print it. For example, all letters you carve will be written backwards, so keep that in mind as you're creating your design. Here's what my design looks like after a couple minutes of carving. We'll skip ahead to when my design is fully finished. And here we have my finished design. As you can see, many different lines are created into the piece. You'll also notice that around the center of my design, there's a bit of yellow. I'll explain why that's there in a minute. After your block is ready, you'll begin by spreading your ink. First, you'll take your tube and put a small dollop of it on wherever you intend to spread. Then you begin rolling your ink. To do this, you take your roller and move it down one direction one way, another direction the other way. You don't want to move your roller back and forth, as this will let more ink go than actually pick up onto your roller. You also want to make sure that wherever you're spreading your ink, it is secured, which is why you see the painter's tape on my scratch paper. The desired effect you're looking for on your roller is small tips of ink shown here. Then you will place your block and start rolling the ink onto it, charging the plate with all the ink you've accumulated. You'll want to make sure you do this a couple times over before your first print to make sure you'll have plenty of ink on your plate. Once your plate is inked, you'll take your cut-to-size printmaking paper and place it onto your design, and then you will apply pressure to it. Here I'm using a printmaker's brayer to evenly distribute my pressure across my print, but you can use a wooden spoon to get the same effect. And after applying all the necessary pressure, you lift your paper up and your design is revealed. Between different prints, if you want to change your plate along the way, you more than are able to. This is why I had yellow on my plate earlier, because one of my tools had ink from one of the last times I had printed. And then once your plate is ready for another print, you repeat the same process of inking, applying a piece of paper, and applying pressure. Lastly is cleaning up all of your ink and your supplies. Firstly, if you have any excess ink, you should be able to store it for later. Here, I'm using a palette knife to regather it, and then I'll be sliding it into the printmaking tube. For the roller, you want to remove as much excess ink from it as possible. You can do this by rolling it over and over again on scratch paper. There will be ink left on your roller no matter what, but you should be able to see some of the inside rubber. For cleaning ink off your supplies, a common way to do it among printmakers is to use mineral spirits. However, a useful substitute for people at home is to use dish soap. To clean your roller, simply apply the soap to a paper towel and roll all of the rubber. After enough scrubbing, your paper towel will have removed all the excess ink from your rollers. And finally, with your plate, you simply do the same thing, scrubbing away the ink with your paper towel. And there you have your prints! Once again, thank you so much for watching. This episode was quite a bit longer than my previous two, but I'm very happy to get this out there and show you guys a super accessible means of printmaking. And once again, I'll be providing the link down below for the printmaking toolkit, which has pretty much everything you need for this project. Thank you again, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you for the next episode.